last week somebody introduced that to me. Or mentioned that to me. It might be the Oscars for the circular economy. It's an initiative set up by the World Economic Forum, the Young Global Leaders, which is also part of the World Economic Forum, and facilitated by the Accenture Strategy. We're presenting awards to the most impactful organizations and people in the circular economy space. This year is going to be the fifth year we're organizing it, and we're all actually presenting the awards each year in Davos. So the next one will be end of January in Davos. And the reason why I'm presenting this to you guys is, first of all, what we think is, what we've seen over the last few years is we've had so many entries and winners from the Western world, but we'd like to improve our footprint or enhance our footprint to, for instance, Africa as well. So that's why we're really happy that we could partner with the African Circular Economy Network to improve that. So let me briefly explain how it works, the circulars. From August 1st until September 30th, there is a applicant period. So there's an entry period for parties to enter themselves via our website. You go to the website and you answer 5 to 7 questions on why you think you are a potential winner of the circulars. And then the months after that, we judge and do some Q&A calls, and then we present the winners in Davos in January. So one question to you guys is, please feel free to enter yourselves or to communicate to potential entries or potential winners in your own network to enter the Circulars program. It's very easy, it's free, and I think it will provide you with quite a lot of benefits. One of the most important one would be, you would have a mass media podium to present your organization or ID. So the last year, so there are 7 awards in the circulars. You've got the Leadership Award, the Multinational Award, SME, Public Sector, Public Choice, which is more or less an entrepreneurial award, Tech Disruptor, and Public Sector Organization. Last year's winners were Philips, IKEA, Citra, these kind of companies. You see it on the slide. So that's the main thing about the circulars for now, the introduction. If anybody has questions, please pose them. Otherwise, I'll move on. So a second thing that I'd like to mention, I don't think there are any questions, right, Peter? Or I don't see the screen at the moment. Okay. So the next thing that I'd like to discuss and to ask your input on is a second thing. We're writing an insights report, and we're doing some research on that, specifically on different geographies around the world, on the circular economy trends, drivers, and barriers. And for Africa, we're researching, we're currently in search of potential sources that we could leverage. So if you could guide us, if you know experts or really relevant material on circular economy in Africa, feel free to send that over to me. I think my email is also in the invite of this call, or otherwise, please get in touch with Peter and he can send it over.
Sorry, Mikhail, can I just ask, what kind of material are you looking for?
Yeah, I think so. The main goal of our research in the geographies is to flesh out the potential drivers, barriers, and or trends in that area. So I think material which are research papers or I don't know, governmental insights or data or experts. I think these kinds of material we're looking for. Yeah. So that was my second question. So first question is, if you could on the circulars, the program would be great if you could drive entries from August 1st onwards. And second question is, if you have any relevant material on the circular economy in Africa, please share them with us. It would be really helpful, and I think it would be good for Africa as well to highlight what's happening in that in your geography as well. So thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Thank you very much, Michael. I think we'll have to think carefully about how you'd like us to be involved in the research, the insights report, because there is a lot, and a lot of it is actually hidden. And I think that's certainly what's emerging to me. Maybe you and I will be in Amsterdam from Saturday for 3 weeks, so I hope there'll be an opportunity for us to meet, and maybe we can talk in a bit more detail about that, about how we can help contribute towards that report.
Yeah, that sounds good, Peter. That would be helpful. Thanks so much.
Can I ask if anybody's got any questions? I think we have a couple of minutes if somebody would like to ask Michael a question. Okay, I think it's all very clear at the moment, Michael. So thank you, and for Wesley, I think maybe Wesley's not there, but there's a very strange symbol against her name, but that's okay. Hopefully she will have heard everything. And of course, what I forgot to do, which I should have had in big bright letters across my screen, was that I should have pressed the record button at the start of the meeting. I have done that now. So there will be a recording of, well, most of this call and hopefully all of the next call, so that those people who can't join us will be able to listen to what you said. It was only Sally's that I missed, unfortunately. And the chat screen will also be available. So those will be circulated across the network. So hopefully other people will be able to participate. Michael.
Thank you, Peter. Thanks.
And hi everyone. I'm here now. Sorry, I had trouble with my audio. This is Wesley.
Great, welcome, Wesley. Thanks for joining us. And yeah, I hope that you and I will meet. As I'm based in the UK, we'll be able to meet up after I come back from Amsterdam. And yeah, that'd be great. Okay, well, great. Okay, I appreciate that people will be dipping in and out here. I see that Alex has joined us, and so is Rich Gower from Tier Fund. So welcome to you both. We've heard from Sally on the packaging waste management plan that's being developed in South Africa. And yeah, thanks for stopping sharing, Michael. And we've heard from Michael about the circulars. So we are doing well on time. So Yassine, be prepared, if you wouldn't mind, because I can see, I don't know if Dean can hear us. He's here in the call, but I can't see whether, Dean, could you let us know if you can hear us and see us and speak to us?
Hi, I'm here. I'm Yassine from Senegal.
You're okay. Let me just, I can't see any evidence of Dean. So Dean's going to present to us on the circular economy in Uganda. But I think, Yassine, if it's okay with you, would you mind bringing your presentation a little bit forward into this call? Would that be all right?
Yeah, no problem.
So this is Yassine Faye from Senegal, and I think you're a recent member of the network, aren't you, Yassine? And welcome. And we're very keen to hear what you have to say about how the circular economy is working in Senegal.
Yeah, no problem. Are you guys seeing me? I'm not sure if it's
I can see you. I'm not sure about the others.
Okay, no problem. So let me share my screen. Are you guys seeing my presentation? I'm not sure if it's working properly. Right.
Yeah, that seems to be, yeah, that's
okay.
it.
Okay, great. For those who don't know, I'm Yassine from Senegal, and I'm interested in circular economy in Senegal, and I would like to make a quick presentation of what is happening in Senegal in terms of circular economy. And on the summary, you can see I decided to talk about a little bit about the circular economy framework in Senegal, talk also about the waste industry in Senegal, and also give you some example of what I call circular economy champions. So here in Senegal, to give you a little bit overview about what is happening in terms of circular economy, there is no framework dedicated to circular economy, as you can see in countries such as Japan. And but there is a couple of interesting measures that was taken by the government to promote and organize campaigns. And there is a document named National Platform on Green Economy, established in 2015. And this document basically aims to stimulate green growth and development in Senegal. There is also another document named National Strategy on Sustainable Development. And
Yassine, could I just interrupt you slightly? People are having trouble hearing you. Perhaps you could speak closer to your microphone so we can hear you a bit clearer.
Okay. Yeah, is it better right now?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So by the National Strategy on Sustainable Development, let's say that it's mentioned the promotion of sustainable production and consumption as one of the national priority of the country. And there is also one of the biggest documents about that, the Emerging Senegal Plan, which is the kind of roadmap that the country has until 2035. And it basically mentioned also the circular economy as one of the national priorities that the government has to work on. Maybe that we've been having the same type of strategy in national plan, whatever the name is, in different sectors, but nothing has changed as usual. But we have at least a document named the Sector on Electric and Electronic Waste that is currently on the table of the president, waiting to be approved. So on the next page, you can see there is some picture. I wanted to share some picture of Dakar. Not that I don't want you to come here. It's not like that everywhere. So you can see some picture of Dakar. This is Dakar, the capital city of Senegal. This is and it's still in Dakar, one of the biggest beaches in Senegal. And you can see the situation here. There's a lot of waste going on everywhere. And we have basically a lot of the type of waste are the same everywhere, but we have a lot of plastics. Plastic is a very big issue in Senegal. We have also a lot of metal, electronic, organic, glass, artificial hair, and a lot of textile waste. And I wanted to talk a little bit about this. This is called Mbabes. This is a place in Dakar, and this is known as one of the world's biggest open landfill in the world. I think maybe the other one is in Ghana, I believe. And just to talk a little bit about Mbabes, let's say that Mbabes, this is where most of the waste in Dakar goes. And this is, as I said, one of the largest open landfill in the world, approximately 10 kilometers per annum surface. And Mbabes is located in one of Dakar's suburbs called Malika, and it has been accumulating waste since 1960. So just to give you a little bit some numbers, there is approximately 4,676 tons of waste that are collected every day by collection trucks and dumped into this main Mbabes. So waste is obviously a lot of opportunity for a part of the population, which turn it into business, and they solve a social issue, make money, and create jobs, whether they are informal or formal. And this is basically a short list of what I call the circular economy champions in Senegal. And as a first example, I can talk a little bit about the Mbabes waste pickers. The Mbabes waste pickers, there are more than 1,000 working in this area, and 300 of them are women and kids. And usually they sort out the trash using metal hooks, and they collect mostly plastic, metal, food residues, glass, and store them into piles in the ground. And those products are sold on the spot to individuals or companies, or even out of Senegal in neighboring countries. Another example of circular economic champion in Senegal is CETIC, which is the company focused on electronic and electrical waste. And the company was created, I believe, in 2013, and the company signed a lot of partnership conventions with companies in Senegal to collect their waste and recycle it. Another example is Plast, which is focused on plastic waste. And note that this is the first company in Senegal that collects and recycles plastic waste. And up to date, since 2010, 3,600 tons of plastic were collected by this company in Senegal, but they are only based in Dakar, the capital city of the country. So the waste is transformed into ground material and sold to plastic industry. And they recently decided to create kind of collection point where people can go and actually deposit their plastic waste. And they also create bins and storage out of the plastic waste that people use to recycle. There is a company called Joto Sante, which is focused on drug waste, and it's basically a mobile application that gives the opportunity to stop drug wastage and help you resell or share your unused medicine. I can also mention eCover, which is a company that collects and transforms unused tires into pavement for roads. I can also mention my company, which is SOS Clothes, and I'm focused on textile waste. And what I do is that I offer clothing alteration, repairing, transformation, and customization services. It can be very, very popular. It is very popular in countries like maybe in the UK and everywhere, but it's not popular in Senegal. So it's a very innovative service that I'm providing people here. And I also make products out of discarded clothes like bags, like decoration items. And the last example is a company named Senegal, which work on bioindustrial waste, and they transform bioindustrial products such as bone mineral and slaughterhouse waste into energy. So that's basically what I wanted to share with you guys about circular economy in Senegal. I wanted to keep it short, but I will be happy to share a more, maybe a longer presentation of what exactly happening in Senegal.
Great, Yassine, thank you very much. And it is always going to be a challenge as we communicate across a continent to be able to hear everybody. But I'm just getting reminders about the time limit of 40 minutes, so I'm very conscious of that. We probably have about another 10 minutes. Does anybody have any questions for Yassine while she's here? Otherwise, it would be useful if we could share your presentation, maybe in either a link to a website or you can put the file, I think, into the chat screen. That might be possible. I'm not sure I've ever done that. But any questions for Yassine at this stage? Okay. Well, thank you, Yassine. I'm always struggling here as host to manage everything and everybody. So Dean is still struggling with his audio. I think what we're going to do, given the time, is the second call. So Dean, with any luck, at the 11:45 call, can give us an update on Uganda. What I'd like to do, I think, is bring ahead my update, or part of my update, on the African Circular Economy Network news. So thank you, Yassine. Do you want to stop sharing your screen? That would be helpful, I think. So do let us know how we can share that presentation if you're willing for that. And as we have Nick Jeffries on the line here from the Ellen MacArthur Foundation. Hi, Nick. One of my updates was actually going to be something to do with the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, because I attended the Exeter University symposium run by the Centre for Circular Economy at Exeter University Business School. And there I met one of the Ellen MacArthur Foundation team, Colin Webster. And Colin, I know, is very interested to, I think, to hear more about what's going on in Africa, as I know that you are, Nick. And what we were asked to do is to think about how we as a network might be able to participate in the Disruptive Innovation Festival in November. And so I haven't got an answer to that, but I'd like to think that we might be able to put together some form of collective presentation or discussion. Nick, do you want to, as you're here, do you want to say anything about what that might look like for this group here at the DIF?
Okay. Can everyone hear me? So I don't know if everyone's aware of the Disruptive Innovation Festival. I'll assume some are not, so I'll explain what it is. For 3 weeks, every November, at the foundation, we run an online festival of ideas. We've been doing that for the last 4 or 5 years. We set up a studio in the top floor of our building. We invite every day, guests come in, they sit on the DIF sofa, and they talk about an idea or an innovation or some kind of initiative they're involved with. It doesn't have to be directly related to the circular economy. In fact, a lot of the content isn't. It's about ideas that are disrupting the economy and a sort of a new way of doing things. So as well as having that live studio at the top of our building, we also have online presenters coming in. I believe last year we had at least 4 or 5 participants coming from Africa. And so, yeah, that's basically it. It's 3 weeks. There's probably about 5 or 6 or 7 sessions each day, just during the weekdays. We'd love you, Peter, to come into the office and actually take part in a live studio, and then we can actually patch guests in from overseas to sort of participate in that session. I believe Colin must have explained to you that we're probably accepting sort of ideas for sessions probably from now onwards. So if anyone from the network wants to showcase the circular economy or any technology disruptions or education disruptions or business disruptions that are taking place in their region, then get in contact with myself or Colin at the foundation, and we're happy to consider it.
Great, Nick, thank you. Is it so we can do both then, can't we? We can get a group together through the network, but people can also approach you individually, can't they?
Yeah. I think, I mean, this is the first time I've really thought about it, but I think it would be brilliant for to have one live studio session dedicated to the work of the African Circular Economy Network, as well as that from the wider network. Please, suggest a session. Would love to. I mean, I noticed there's someone's just joined from the Congo. I mean, that's great. What does the circular economy look like in the Congo? Of course, South Africa is. I've heard a few cases there, but in the work that we've done for the foundation up till now is, we were very Europe focused to begin with, and then we've sort of expanded a little bit to India, and we've just done a project on Chinese cities. But I'm really interested to know, what does it look like in the African context? Okay. And so if you could have, if people could suggest sessions and get on and explain that to us, and then be open for questions and answers, that would really add to the DIF.
Great, thanks, Nick. That's really helpful, and we'll circulate the details. I'll also put in the chat screen with some links in the second call. But I'm very conscious that I think we're probably about to get cut off. So to take benefit of this wonderful system that does seem to work quite well, I think we really ought to call an end to this call now. And those that want to join the next call, it will start at 11:45 Central African time, or 11:45 British Summer Time. And thank you everyone for joining this call. I do hope that people will be able to come to the next one. And apologies that this is the way that we're having to work at the moment without a budget being run by volunteers. So thank you for everything so far, and hopefully we'll see you at the next call in about 10 minutes time. Okay, the chat screen will give you the details of the next room number. So at the top of the screen, the chat screen, there is the room number if you want to go back to that if you didn't have it before. Okay, thanks very much. See you the other side.